right back, Charlie.
You always use that active when defending. I think it's like.
People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian. Man. Come on.
Hey, people, I cut out the intro, so let me do that again.
You always use that active when defending. I think it's like.
People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian. Man.
That's more like it. People deluded, I'm back again. Hope everyone's doing well and safe. Well and safe would be an issue. Hope everyone's doing well and safe. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and in some cases, good night. Especially good morning to my UK folks. It's one of the two hottest days of the week, really. It's going to be boiling settings, man. Sardine settings for all of us. But yeah, I hope the weekend was fantastic for you lot. I hope everyone's doing well and safe. I hope everyone reaches their goals, hopes, dreams, ambitions, overcomes hardship, and all of that good stuff this week. I hope you and your loved ones are fit and healthy. As usual, whether you're locked in on YouTube or Twitch, please make sure if you're on YouTube, you're over on Twitch and vice versa. Smash the like buttons, YouTube gang. We get to 200. We start looking at transfer news and all of those things, as it seems like Zinchenko is getting over the line over the last 24 hours. I don't know the credibility, but we've been linked with Jeremy Doku, a player that us and Liverpool, among other British clubs, but primarily us two, more so Liverpool, have been pushing to sign since he was 16. Gone off the ball now that he's 20, but at them times they was there. And I know he's Belgium, and we've been linked with Telemans. You know, we've got Lokonga. It's, you know, it would make sense. Zinchenko's the primary headline. Arthur Melo links have resurfaced. Yeah, it is what it is. You know, we're all here and there where Paqueta's concerned. Sane, like Gnabry, was dead in the water from the start. But I can't blame fans for wanting to sell themselves dreams, especially when all the talk out the club is that we want a Premier League proven winger. And, you know, over the weekend, we were linked with Harvey Barnes. We were linked with Bowen again. We was linked with someone else in the Prem. I think we've actually been linked with Maxwell Cornet as well. There's definitely someone else. I wouldn't mind Harvey Barnes. I think he's an honest professional. I think he has the ability to improve and get goals and assists. He's not the most glamorous or sexy sort of player. Definitely when you've been linked with, or fans have linked us with Gnabry, we've been linked with Sane, Rafinha, Paqueta can play out there, but he's an honest pro. West Ham are going to charge us an arm and a leg, and they're trying to build a team in it. It looks like they're going to get the Broja thing from Chelsea over the line, whether on loan or permanent, and they're linked with Scamacca. Why would you want to get rid of Bowen? Especially because he's now being capped by England and his price could be at a premium soon. But you did hear earlier in the window, we did speak to his reps. So maybe he was on a list of potential targets. So it all depends on the fee for Harvey Barnes. I wouldn't mind it, but it's a bit, I would entertain Bowen links, but they're going to charge us an arm and a leg. Maxwell Cornet, he's been linked with Everton, Spurs and Chelsea. It seems like it's an Everton thing. Don't think he raises us a level, but he can actually play as a wing back as well as on the left-hand side. We could do a lot better, but we could do a lot worse. So, you know, them names there, I'm not necessarily against them. But for me, I know we need to make up the deficit for goals. I have all the faith in Jesus and Saka and Smith Rowe and Martinelli and Odegaard to deliver the goods, and then Nketiah, but it's a lot of potential. No one's really got the CV of scoring goals. So we do need a right winger, especially as we're not going to bring in two strikers or another striker to go with Eddie's new deal in Jesus. But if we can't bring in curtain raisers, then I don't actually want it. You know, Cody Gakpo, Noah Lang, all these sort of guys a year from now, I might be sitting there and saying, why didn't we take a chance? But we've got a lot of players that are development players. If we're going to bring in players to wide areas, which for me, I wouldn't quite say congested, but quote unquote congested, they have to be better or a level or two above everything. Like if we did get Sane, which ain't happening, Gnabry, which he signed a new deal, Rafinha's ability to play there, Paqueta primarily would play in midfield, but ability to play there. You know, I'd say Bowen extends into that category. You would have to pay a premium, but I wouldn't be against Bowen at all. I wouldn't mind Harvey Barnes. I wouldn't mind Maxwell Cornet, but it is what it is, people, where that's concerned. So hopefully we get a winger in every other area that needs to be addressed, but we'll have to see. Cornet, Barnes, who else did I say? Cornet, Barnes, Bowen, links. Sorry, folks, just making a timestamp. Big up you lot for your continued support. Like I said, make sure you're following on Twitch because we're probably, don't quote me, but we're probably going to watch Love Island, depending on how I feel. And we will be playing Football Manager, people. 75 watching should have 75 likes. I appreciate that, my dude. Get on to them with that one. Marcel, shout out to you, man. Happy Monday, right back at you and your loved ones, my dude. It's baking. It really is baking. It really is baking. It's baking. It's baking, man. DG, what are you saying to the camera in your intro? That's actually taken from another goal that I scored, which there's no footage of it. It weren't a glamorous goal, but it was. It was like Thierry Henry returning to Leeds, isn't it? Like I've come off the bench from my old team, returned, scored. It was written in the script, innit, people. So I'm just going 0-0. You can't hear it, but I'm just going 0-0. I think we're winning 3-4-0, but it's a passion merchant thing, innit? I'm going 0-0. That's what I'm doing in that. If I can remember correctly. So yeah, man. It is what it is. It is what it is. Arsenal black kit is out. DG, you got a post box. You're moving bad. Man trying to buzz me. A man said chow side shirt. You're taking me for Torreira. If you wasn't a cool guy, I would have to say SYM, but it's all good, man. Man said Pablo Marie. You couldn't even put a little teeny or something on that prick. But yeah, I've got it. Well, I say I've got it. It's not in my possession. You know, I woke up this morning. Literally, I remember I woke up in the morning. I see it's coming out. You know, you look at Twitter like you do. I think I saw Arsenal Direct thingy. I went on the website. Oh my God, I need this. I need it now. They've got me, man. They've got me. At least we're going to look mad in style. You know, that kit is the kit where we go to them bookie away games and we crumble, but at least we'll be doing it in style. You know, I'm wearing this. Well, it's not the same color pink, but I'm wearing pink. They need to release the pink one, man. The pink one for me is the one. I'm not going to lie. I thought the home shirt was rubbed at first. Slowly but surely, warming up to liking it and things. I don't know why. The black kit is wavy. Would have preferred some gold stripes ahead of the black ones there, but it is what it is. And yeah, the pink one's just wavy, man. I don't even think we're gonna wear the pink one too tough, but yeah, man. DG, Ian, right. Amazing ad-libs. Morning, DG. Don't worry, you can have Hutchison back when he's at retirement age. Leicester, that's early in the morning, but I can't blame you. Chelsea are a very forward-thinking club. They always want to improve what they've got. Hudson-Odoi's been frauding up the place. I can't blame you for wanting a real demon out in them sides there. You know, I can't blame you for wanting real wingers. You know, Haylen's popping. I can't blame it, but Leicester, that, man. Marie FC in the house. I'm copping to Fun KSC. I don't care. Effed up my headphone going to have to run the show out loud. Work will have to understand DJ every day is a must. Appreciate that. Don't get in trouble, my guy, but do what you got to do, man. At least you are not turning up your nose up to certain players like other Arsenal fans do. You can't turn down certain players with the current position you guys are in. Honestly, I respect it. You can turn down players. You can be snooty, but it's snooty for no reason. You know, I'm snooty when it comes to Cody Gakpo links and things like that. Not because I think they're bad players, even though he looks Bandulu. It's like you're just going to sign Dons for the sake of it. And where Leicester's concerned, it seems like they're doing a rebuild. You know, there was Maddison links to Spurs. Don't know the credibility. It seems like Telemans is gone. It seems like, you know, you could sell guys to fund moves, but I'm not too sure what's going on over there. But if I was trying to have a rebuild and you know Telemans is likely to go, Vardy's not going to be there forever, you kind of want to keep a couple of them together. So I'd probably keep Harvey Barnes. And how much are they going to say? Like, how much is too much for Harvey Barnes? Like, it's long gone are the days of them 30 million settings. And rightly so, Leicester could sit there and say, boy, you bought Pepe for 72. You know, Pepe's been linked with Leicester. Maybe there's something that can be done in that regards. But how much is too much? You know, Bowen, you want to get that done for 50 million, really. And even that's overpaying, I feel. Nothing to do with Bowen. But again, West Ham, rightly so. It's important to them. They're going to price him out of a move. So it's going to be even more than that. You know, Barnes, what's that, 45, 50 as well? But they're going to want more than that. Maxwell, Cornet, Burnley are gone. He's got a relegation release clause. You might be able to do a thing, really. You know, and if I'm Leicester, I'm saying, boy, you found 55 million for Rafinha. Allegedly, you found 55 million for Paqueta. 55 million for a 24, 25-year-old Harvey Barnes, where you're going to get longevity, is a madness. And obviously, he's got the English tax. He has been a good player. I'm not going to lie, that would be overpaying, in my opinion, for Bowen and Barnes. But this is the way the world is. You know, this is the way the Premier League world is. This is the way the English tax. So we could do a lot better, but we could do a lot worse. if it's that, I'd rather not sign no one and just double down on patterning midfield and other areas. Like I want to get into a scenario, unless you can find a Luis Diaz over some sides in Portugal and things like that and all the other names, then I think it's a myth. Like that, you don't want to just bring players in for no reason. Obviously, there's that when you, especially the Noah Langs and all of them development sort of players, you wait a year, they might be lit. Everyone's thinking, why didn't we go and do it? But for me, if you're not going to bring curtain raisers, like in his own way, Odegaard at the time was a curtain raiser in terms of creativity at this club. Take nothing away from Smith Rowe. Gabriel Jesus hasn't got a mad CV for scoring goals, but that's a curtain raiser by Arsenal standards up front. You know, hopefully that extends to midfield. Hopefully that extends to other areas, really and truly. Is Paqueta dead in the war? It seems so, really. You know, again, hopefully we tie up Zinchenko, get Telemans over the line and pour all resources towards Paqueta. But I can't see Zinchenko ability, you know, Zinchenko can play left back, but ability to play in midfield, Fabio Vieira, Telemans, or Arthur Melo, who we've been linked with today, and Paqueta. Now, obviously, these guys are multifunctional players, can play in different roles. Even Arteta was speaking about, you know, primarily we're playing Jesus through the middle. There may be times he plays out wide, so they can coexist. But I can't see, definitely, maybe not so much Fabio Vieira, but if we say at this moment in time, if Telemans signed, if Arthur Melo / Zinchenko signed to you know, that's 2 men fighting for one. And if you bring in Telemans, that's 3 men fighting for Xhaka's spot. Now, with Partey's injury record, they probably will all get game time, but that's 3 men. Then you consider in Fabio Vieira, who says I'm a 10, but I can play left-sided 8. I think it's naive. And especially you sprinkle in Paqueta there. It's probably naive to think all of these lot arrive. They probably should. They raise the bar in midfield, but it's probably a bit naive, especially with Granit Xhaka there, El Nene's new deal, etc., etc. It's probably mad naive, really. So I hope so, but I think the Paqueta thing, I don't think it's going to bang, if I'm honest with you, man. But, you know, I'm hoping to be improved wrong. What do I know? Again, I'm not in the negotiating room or on the negotiation table, so hopefully we can make something happen. So, yeah, man. Smash the like button, people. Jesus, 3 goals, 1 assist in 19 as an Arsenal player. So far, so good. Pre-season tax, I hear you. Big up Jesus, but pre-season rubbed. I know some content creators are bugging out, you know, and gas not the thing, but we need to see that in the season, innit? Is Arthur Melo actually what we need? He's not amazing, but in terms of midfield, obviously Brazilian bias, I'm probably the wrong guy to ask. He is a bit rubbed by his own standards, but to a degree, yeah, I'd rather Telemans, rather Lucas Paqueta, rather all of these other things there, you know, slyly Ruben Neves, but I like Arthur Melo. I don't think he's as rubbed as people making out. And again, if you were prepared to sign him in January, you must have done your due diligence. That makes me think, what's happening with Telemans? For me, if you're going for Arthur Melo, that means something's happening with Telemans. Either you've turned your back on him and you don't rate him, or, you know, you're just saying he's not the guy, which I can't lie. I'd rather Telemans over Arthur Melo, if I'm completely honest, man. I only wanted Savage, to be honest, DG saying, but that's a Carl, you're puffing out your chest, man. You know, Lazio was saying 70-odd million. It would have been lovely. Milinkovic Savic, 6 foot plus, Serbian mentality, goals and assists, you know, very good passing range. Right, it would have been lit in it. But again, the Milinkovic Savic one is from the Rafina, Gnabry, and Sane handbook, and slightly even Vlahovic. Them man are dream ones. You know, it's a dream. Told the wife to get me the black kit for my birthday. Look at you. Cheat code. I hope she gets Pablo Marie up there, man. In fact, now you'll probably be happy with that. If your wife's listening, get someone rubbed. Get someone rubbed. Who's rubbed? If you rate Pablo Marie, no one can be rubbed in the Arsenal lineup. Run Bants, man. Get Harry Kane on the back of his Arsenal shirt, man. Run Bants on your man, please. Big up, Nathan. Hey, Cam, shout out to you, man. You finally out of that C bomb. Hope you're doing well in terms of your health, and everybody else tuned in. If I've missed you out, don't feel any sort of way, especially the members. You know it's appreciated. Normal guy. Good morning to you Americans as well. Well, go on, Killy. What you saying? So yeah, I don't know if Paqueta's dead in the water, but it seems like that one there is a bit of a myth now, really. I hope we can do a thing. Let me type his name in on Google as well. I mean, we can add that to the rumor mill. Why not? Again, 200 likes, we go over what Google and all these outlets are saying. My birthday's in 2 months. It's a long time away, man, but happy birthday in advance, my guy. Big up DG. I think Zinchenko is an average defender. Nearly as slow as my guy Marie, but very decent midfielder. Jay, banter aside, are we running bants or are we being serious? Because I don't think Zinchenko is that good defensively, better than what we could put there. Don't want to move Saka over there. Don't want Tavares there. Don't want Cedric there. Tomiyasu can play left back, but you get me, right back, centre half is what I want to see with Tomiyasu. A bit like when Saka played wing back. It's almost, it's not that they were tested that much defensively, and Zinchenko is a bit frail when he's tested. I remember a Champions League tie a few months ago for Man City, where he kind of let them down. There are times where he plays like a midfielder at fullback, but we could do a lot worse. He can play the role. Obviously, fullbacks are central to the build-up playing football in most teams, much less us. When you lose Tierney, you lose Tomiyasu, it makes it harder for us to score goals and obviously defend. I think we could do a lot worse with Zinchenko. And, again, by all means, he can still play in midfield, really. In an ideal world, you sign Zinchenko and you have him with the ability to play left back and centre mid, and you bring in a more certy guy that's just a left back by trade, really. I don't think Zinchenko's the answer to all our problems, but I think he's a good player. I think he raises the level in a certain sort of way, makes us feel a lot confident, especially as even though I'm the president of TNFC, the man can't stay fit. So I think we could do a lot worse than Zinchenko. I'm taking that every day of the week, man. Pause. Really? So, yeah. Bring Zinchenko to the carpet. Do we know who our top target is, or is it still a secret? It must be a secret, man. As much as Doku may have somewhat high ceiling, will he challenge Saka enough? Not too sure. At the development stage, very raw in terms of productivity. I think he's played a significant amount of times. He hasn't got double figures or double assists for Rennes, but he's talented. But again, very raw. I think that's one we start monitoring and maybe we wait. But then again, if he has a good season for Rennes, goes off to Belgium, then it's maybe a pretty penny you have to pay. And that's the risk you have to be prepared to take. I feel like, and I am, you know me, I like young players. I like seeing them develop, getting players before they get to that next level. I just feel we need a bit more real super quality Stardust. Easier said than done. It's easier said than done, but I just feel we need a midfielder in centre mid that can raise things. If you're going to bring a winger in, they need to be able to raise things. So, yeah, man, it is what it is. Zinchenko defending is very Cedric-like. Maybe that's an exaggeration, but the last 4 games were evident going forward a beast. I hear that. Would you play 3 defenders? We need to, at some point, be able to play 3 defenders throughout the season, especially when there's injuries and especially when, as much as you want to win every game, if you can't win, don't lose. And I feel when you look at the Newcastle way, the Spurs game, that sort of period, we should have went 3 at the back. I honestly believe you go 3 at the back, you don't lose at Spurs. We didn't, and we did. Just look at how Holding was playing against Son. If you had 3 defenders, Holding and Cedric might have been able to get as tight to Son as you like, and there would have been more bodies. Instead, you're playing a naive from back 4 against a quality winger in Son. You know what happened, didn't it? I'm getting PTSD even going through it, really and truly. Smash the like button. Appreciative to you lot tuned in. I still think we need 2 midfielders. If we can get Telemans and Arthur, then I'm all right for this window. Hard pass on Arthur Melo. Juventus is just trying to gin up interest in a player that they are desperate to sell that has failed to be consistent or effective. I see where you're coming from. And as I always say, my guy, I'm very pessimistic on players that are linked to, that are owned by us, that are linked to Italy, and players that come out of Italy. We've been here with Torreira to Fiorentina, with Xhaka to Roma, the Locatelli saga, the Vlahovic saga. I'll always look at these things with a pinch of salt. There's got to be an element of credibility behind it. Evidently, Arsenal need a midfielder. Edu, Brazilian links. We did try to get him in January. For whatever reason, it didn't happen. So there has to have been a degree of due diligence done, maybe in terms of personal terms, if he wants to move to the football club, how he can obviously tie into the team and things like that. So God knows what's going on there, But like Christopher is saying, I think the bulk of that just comes out of really he was linked with Arsenal before. They probably want to get rid of players. And again, it is what it is. If we got Rafinha for 60 million, we can pay 65 for Savage. But you're right, puffing out our chest and living in dreamland before the nightmare starts again. Arsenal, only thing I love as much as I hate. I hear that. Big up Graham. DG, if the Zinchenko deal is sorted shortly, what position would you prioritize next? Centre midfield, attacking winger, or fullback? Who would you like, or would you like to add another centre forward for squad depth? I've already said it. He's linked with Bayern Munich, but if you could get that, I call him Tell Money, Matthias Tell from Rennes, I would be able to. I'd be able to get that in it. I'd go and get that done. I would say for me personally, based on just how I've been feeling about the links and everything I had on, I want Skillers in it. So I'd probably say it's wrong. For me, I think it's wrong, but I would say right wing. If I remove my bias and what I want to see, and to answer your question in the most honest way I can, I think you've got to address centre mid. All right, cool. You know, we don't actually know what our plans are for Zinchenko. Is he going to exclusively do up left back? Is he going to be treated more like a centre mid and able to play there? But I would want to see centre mid address that. So I'd say another centre midfielder for me, and then probably right wing. I would like a right back, but it seems like, you know, we hear reports the club are happy with Cedric's performances. You know, Ben White can do a job when fit over there. So, yeah, I don't think it is one. I wouldn't mind a centre-back that's a bit different from Saliba, Ben White and Gabriel. Someone that's a bit more experienced, someone who's a bit more of a senior pro, someone that isn't necessarily a sexy sort of signing, but they understand defending, like really understand defending. That would be something I would be open to. But I don't think we can do everything in this window, and it is what it is in that regards, people. What have you said here about Con Davy? Let me get that up. Boy, what a transfer window, eh? What a transfer window. Let's slap that over here. I think we can delete that. Big up you lot for tuning in. Your talking points are amazing. How many more signings do you think Arsenal need for you to be confident going into the season? Or do you think after Zinchenko that would be enough based on his versatility? Nah, brother. You know, I think you need another midfielder. I don't know. Zinchenko's a bit of an anomaly / unicorn in that. I don't know how we're going to utilize him. Bit like Fabio Vieira, even though they can play left-sided centre mid. I think you need a centre mid. I think you need a right winger. You know, cool, Zinchenko's coming. The left back, stuff is dead. If you could address right back, if you could centre back, as I said, big up Matt Turner. I'll give him all the season and I've got nothing to go on, but I think we're in big trouble if something happens with Ramsdale. But I'd say right wing, centre mid, right back, if you could, centre half, I would say that would be it for me. You know, if you bring in Lucas Paqueta to go with other stuff and one more done, then I'm kind of cool with it. But yeah, I am more confident with Jesus and Zinchenko, but honestly, they're two guys that make us a better team, but I can't expect fireworks, and it's nothing to do with them, innit? We need a lot more. Lovely questions. Let me scroll up. It doesn't seem like the Paqueta news is dead, but it's probably taking a back burner, really. I wouldn't say Melo's what we need. He's a bit rubbed, but sometimes you get these damaged goods, you get a tune out of them, and they could be all right, but I do think, if I'm honest, I do like Arthur Melo. I think he can control the tempo of a game. I think he's got a good passing range. I think he plays too many 5-yard passes for me. I think he plays within himself quite a lot as well. And, you know, he's not really, the last couple of seasons, he's been a bit of damaged goods, really. The only time he started to really look like he's playing on a regular basis is when he started getting linked with Arsenal. So we probably should stay clear of it. But if Arteta's done the due diligence, if we do want him in January, I don't know what's been going on with Telemans. Maybe we're moving ever closer to confirming Telemans. That's why the Arthur Melo thing has done a full circle again. I honestly don't know, really and truly. It's silly season, as you know. It's mad transfer window. Anything's up for debate. Anything can happen. One love to the 500 odd of you tuned in. 113 likes. We're moving in the right direction, but we're not there yet. That's cool. Means I get to see a couple more talking points from you lot, man. Riley, one of between you and Paul, my fave Spuds fans, man. Shout out to you lot. My memories of Zinchenko at City weren't that good. A decent utility option. Those City playing midfielders at left back instead of him. Boy, the cynics could say, hey, this was a backup striker to no striker, and Zinchenko was backup left back to no left back. But he's adaptable. Admittedly, I want to see him play a lot in midfield, if I'm completely honest with you. But we could do a lot worse. And, you know, we didn't put a bid down for Aaron Hickey, Lisandro Martinez, who we found out, I think an article said today, he's played 12 times at left back, 7 times for Ajax. That one didn't happen. You know, I don't know what other left backs we were linked with, to be fair. So, yeah, I don't know, man. Do you think Juventus will push for Gabriel after selling De Ligt? Probably, but they've been linked with another Brazilian centre-back in Bremer, although he might be playing for Thingy, man. He might be going to play for Italy, playing for Inter Milan and changing his international ties to playing for Italy. Onana looks like he's going West Ham. Happy Monday, right back at you, broski. Don't get me wrong, Zinchenko would be a good signing as squad depth, but would I start him ahead of Xhaka? Just need Tierney to stay fit. I probably would start him ahead of Xhaka, only just, but I don't think it's like he's clear of Xhaka sort of thing. I think they're very similar. I do think Zinchenko puts in a shift, but he's a bit lightweight and that. But I'm cool with it, really. We could do a lot worse than sign Zinchenko, like, honestly. And I know that's not the good bar, but yeah, man. And even as Kalas Zinchenko, even if he's Kalas at left back, do I think he'll be any more Kalas than Tavares running up and down, Cedric doing nonsense? You know, Saka can do the role, and you can't rule out him having to do that if there's injuries. But you lose a lot on the right wing if you move Saka. Zinchenko can do it in it, and as I said, I want to see Zinchenko in midfield as well as obviously bringing in midfielders. Yeah. Arthur adds extra quality to the squad, and if he does come, then he's a rotation player. Terry, shout out to you. Exactly. When we did the three at the back, we did all right. Arteta loves Gabriel. He's not being sold probably. I mean, it don't matter what he loves. I don't think he leaves, but it's, you know, he loves Joe Willett. Joe Willett forced the ball out and left. If Gabriel wanted to force the Juventus move or said, I want to go, there's that, man. What's your lineup when we face Chelsea in the Florida Cup? Hamza, no clue, man, really. I'd like to see the team that started in the first half of the Everton game start again. And you'd obviously hope that Tierney, Smith Rowe, all these guys can be fit. I did see some rumours online. I don't know if they're credible, but there's doubts around Ben White, Tierney, and I think Smith Rowe. It might not be him going into the start of the season at Palace, where Ben White's concerned. Saliba, you've got an opportunity. Obviously, Zinchenko needs to get over the line where Tierney's concerned. And obviously, what the hell is going on with Tomiyasu as well? I know he's over there in Florida. He's nursing an injury, but, you know, I know we're a few weeks away from the season starting, but I mean, come on now, you know, you kind of want to see the man them that need to be playing a part of this season involved in it. Need Telemans or Madison DG for Arsenal to go to the next level? I don't think either one of them really takes us to the next level, but fantastic players, quality players in their own way can help us, though. I do like Madison's mentality. That's one reason I want him, because he seems like he don't get too down when people are playing poor. He don't get too excited, and he wants to be a star man in a humble way. Telemans is wavy. Saliba, Gabriel, White, Marie, and Holding is a decent group of centre backs. We don't need any more unless we're replacing Marie and Holding. I hear you, but, you know, Arteta must be looking at centre back, really. You know, if you're bringing in Lisandro Martinez, for all the waffle about him being able to play as a 6 and at left back, you know, where he doesn't overlap too many times, you know, so how does that contribute to the build-up play? He's played exclusively at centre back. Arteta has to be looking at a centre back. Now, I would bring in one if you could do the cheap thing. Someone that's, you know, understands the law of defending, that really gets it. That's a bit different and experienced to what we have, that can be utilised. As you know, Arsenal taxed with injuries and things, so there has to be. I don't think a centre-back should be a priority, but if you can do it, you should be able to do it. And to be honest with you, I only believe in 3 of the names you said there. Obviously, I'm relying on Tomiyasu if something happens to play at centre-half as well, potentially. Holding can stay and be part of the spare goods. Marie, I hear you on the replacement thing, but he was gone in Jan, innit, where we already was quite thin there. So how do we really need to replace him, really? I don't really want to see Xhaka there. I mean, if we could have a reality of developing Saliba, Gabriel, obviously, Gabriel, Saliba, Ben White, you bring in the next guy who's 30, you have Tomiyasu's ability to play there to go with Holding, I'm cool. But if you're able to get someone, it is what it is. But when I see links to half the centre-backs we've been linked to, Lisandro Martinez, the Gavardal done at RB Leipzig, these lot are going to cost a pretty penny, 50 million upwards, really, to put it nicely. And, you know, I can't argue that centre-back is a bigger priority at this moment than the middle of Arsenal's midfield, then on the right wing. Some might say, even though Eddie has signed a new deal and Jesus goes, really and truly. So I don't quite agree with we don't need a centre-back, but I don't think it's that deep. If you could do it and you address all the other areas, for me, if you could bring in one, why not? I'm too gassed for next season. Don't know why, but shout out to you, my brother. You got Rob Holding. He's better than Cannavaro. Trust me, you know the tick. What do you think? Who do you think is a secret sign? I don't know. Probably someone Bandili, man. How do you feel about Sane links? If he comes, in my opinion, we're title contenders. Slow down. I don't think even if you got Sane, we're title contenders. It would gas us. It would be lit. But I would need to see a lot more productivity from Sane. You lot, shout out to you lot. You lot updated me to the fact of, you know, Sane isn't that productive in Bundesliga, and that's something that needs to be improved on, especially if you're going to spend that money. We need someone that's going to bag more. Unexpected high bills if you do not hit the like button. We're 137 likes. There's 500 odd of you tuned in on YouTube. Shout out to you if you have done that. Twitch gang, you're amazing. You lot just keep getting your talking points in. So I don't know about title contenders. I don't know if David Luiz would be decent. I don't know for that. Paqueta is probably the only link I'm gassed for other than Zinchenko, which hopefully is rolling towards the pocket. Hope you're keeping yourself adequately hydrated under that light of yours, DG. Supposed to be scorching hot today. I appreciate that. I'm good for now. I have got some water. I'm good for now, man. I appreciate that. DG, what do you think of Zaha on the right? The boat sailed. If he signed for us for a couple of years, why not? But the Zaha boat sailed now, man. You know, I'm not one of these guys who goes, oh my God, he's 29. We can't use him in that. But the boat's gone in it. It's gone now. I do think him being 29, signing for Arsenal, there'll be a sense of urgency. I do like his mentality. I do think he's a good player. But it just seems like the boat is out. It's gone now, man. It's gone. It's gone. But he has to be on some sort of list, in my opinion, on potential right winger stuff. Do you think Juventus will actually try and get Gabriel from us? Probably. But we need to hold them to ransom. We could never get Chiesa, but if we could, we should have got him when Wenger wanted him at Fiorentina. Like, if we could, it'd be lit. We could never. You have no chance of getting Chiesa. Is there a chance we get Gnabry at right wing? There's always a chance in life, but he just signed a new deal at Bayern Munich. Has no intention of leaving, so anything's possible in life, but extremely unlikely. I don't see why we can't get some more high-profile signings, especially with how highly Gabriel's talks of coming to us. But his contract was running down. A bit like Odegaard. Odegaard weren't getting no love at Madrid. Jesus needed a platform. If you do these smart sort of things, then fair play. Torreira's days look numbered, didn't it, really? I think we should play Torreira. When we played him on the Emre, he was only playing for the badge. Arteta should give him a go. We're at where we're at, man. Needs to keep it moving, though. On ability, 100%. We need to focus on centre mid, which has been neglected for 2 summers. Till now, missing out on Basuma and Bruno Guimaraes will bite us. I mean, Basuma's a lit signing, but I think we missed the signing of... I think Basuma was just a smart thing to do. I think Bruno Guimaraes is one which really... He should be at the Emirates, innit? He should be at the Emirates. Him, Telemans, Odegaard, a couple of other different options to flirt between. We should be able to do all of that, and we should be laughing as fans right now. Unfortunately, we're not in it, so this is the game. We really should. Yeah, man, shout yourself, my dude. Yeah, I ordered the shirt. It said it should be coming in the next 4 or 5 days. Hello, DJ. Anything new or all the same? Do you believe we'll get another winger? I mean, I don't know what to believe because I don't work for Arsenal, but, it seems like we're trying to get a winger. But honestly, in my heart, 50-50. Part of me thinks surely, based on all these rumours. Other one thinks, you just never know with this club as much as we love it, innit, really? As good as Tomiyasu is, he's injured now. Bellerin and Cedric aren't good enough. Who's your take for right back? I mean, I don't think we're getting a right back, man. So I just feel, make Ben White do that. He's done it at Leeds and Brighton. Make him do that, man. Morning, bro. I believe Zinchenko is done. We need another striker and quality backup for Partey. Nothing against El Nene, but we need quality. I think it's a good sign. Shout out the Indianas. South Bend, Indiana. I was about to call you Indianas, but yeah, I don't think that's a thing. We have to get a ridiculous amount for Gabriel to consider selling. Xhaka is good. He just lacks pace. We need someone who has quality, but with speed, and Zinchenko does have that, according to Kyle Walker. He's top 3 at City in terms of taker, so maybe he is the one. I'm very wary of placing all my trust on one person. I'd love to see Zinchenko be our first choice left back. He's technically better than Tierney. I mean, he's a centre mid by trade, so technical level he probably is. At left back, 100% he's not better than Tierney. But the problem is when Tierney's not fit and the drop off. Marie in that list is Banduli, trust me. Arteta sees Zinchenko as a midfielder. I don't see us getting Telemans after just getting him. Big up AM. Why don't we play Mavropanos? He's been sold and he's not good enough. Honestly, he's not good enough. Anyone, Mavropanos might be good enough to play top-level football one day, but anyone who's watched Mavropanos at Stuttgart, no matter what them defensive statistics say, he has had a good season and he did show it, but he's made a lot of errors. How much the guy is very error-prone. There was no reason for Mavropanos to make it here. The problem with Arsenal is we didn't make enough money on him and Guendouzi and these sort of things there. Paul has said, I guess Paul has spoken to Paqueta himself. It's all love, Paul. Paqueta wants to come to us. Lyon are probably asking for large amounts. Arsenal are saying, okay, we'll look elsewhere. Lyon have already been burnt with Aouar. They're not going to risk it again, in my opinion. I hear that. I feel like Telemans' deal is like the Partey deal. Everything is done, just waiting. Arsenal have so many players to move off the books. That's a hype. I hear that. That Medina you at Lens looks decent, Cody. I hope Saliba will be a star, Makili. Would you take Dybala? Yes and no. Quality player. Enough said in it, but no, because in theory, beyond us getting Dybala, where is he going to play? Is he better than potentially Odegaard, Fabio Vieira, or Smith Rowe as a 10? Probably, but you know, he probably has to play as a 10. He has to play as a false 9. He can play on the left or the right. I'm not entertaining none of that. He doesn't score enough or assist enough. He's just a wavy player, like, and I'm here for it, but it's not really helping us. Sane is the secret signing. Arteta knows him, and they've spoken on the phone privately. He could be en route. I hear you lot, man. Why not? Until we address the centre mid position, if we was to sign Sane, adding to Jesus, Saka, Martinelli, and Odegaard, we won't see the best of them. Amen. That's something I've been onto. Why aren't we linked with Douglas Luiz? He's a really good midfielder, big and strong and Brazilian, which we're into. Don't know really, but it seemed like he was going AC Milan, but it seems like that one is dead, really. You know, Basuma link went off because he went to Spurs. That one there's gone to the back burner. We ain't even seen the one I wanted, which was Fabian Ruiz. That one there's gone away as well, really. Do you think the secret signing could be Gakpo? If it is, that's extremely underwhelming. Is he good enough to keep that secret? Fair enough. I hope Saliba does become a star. I mean, even if you're right, even if Chiesa did leave Serie A, he ain't leaving for Arsenal. I have a feeling Xhaka is on his way out. Would explain Odegaard made captain too. Now I think they're two different entities. Arteta sees Odegaard as the golden boy and the one to build his team around, and all the language around what happens on the training ground, who's talking on the pitch, it seems to be around him. So I don't think the two are interlacted really, but you know, Xhaka's future is always going to be volatile because of who he is as a footballer and as at Arsenal Football Club, and also because he's 29, does have an option of another year, but contracted until 2024, and he plays in that position where, although he's durable and plays all the time, Arsenal's midfield provides a lot more questions than answers. You know, there's some periods where Partey, Xhaka, El Nene, they all look amazing. Others where it's not. There's obviously once injuries start playing a part, there's things going on there. But yeah, man. So I don't think the two are interlapped, but I hear you. Also, we're heavy on midfield signings, as we should, man. I remember when Arsenal couldn't stop overdosing on midfield signings. We couldn't stop bringing in midfielders. How much do you think Gabriel is worth if we were to sell him? I can't lie. If you're not trying to get 50-odd million for him, you're finessing yourself, really. Sane is a baller, but he's frustrating at times. I don't think he's living up to his full potential. I hear that. Martinelli is the new Walcott. Allow it. Maybe the Samba flavors will turn to rare around these South, man. They're the sort of man to do edibles and start falling on the floor acting like a beanie and that. I don't know for Torreira, man. I don't think the Samba and the mate crew and all of them things can help him, man. I fear that Zinchenko will mean we don't go for another centre mid. I really hope we get another 8, even though we got Zinchenko. Amen. And that seems to be something that a lot of us seem to be sharing. Arsenal signing so far is proof that they ain't serious about next season. Europa League qualification as a maximum. Oof. If we get Telemans, then Sambi should go on loan. Would be brilliant for his development. If someone could sit there and say, we'll play Sambi in a top 5 the league for 20, 30 games, I'd consider it. Especially as you've got El Nene, Partey, and you could do other things. But we need all our sixes to stay, and I think Lokonga will have a better season. I hope it ain't Gakpo. As deadly as Xhaka's left foot is, he's too slow and makes too many mistakes. Telemans is the perfect replacement. Zinchenko on a quality defensive mid like Lemire from Leipzig, so we can relax on Partey. Every year Arsenal sniff around Leicester. Is it embarrassing to keep getting the finger? Mahrez, Vardy, Rodgers, Maddison, and now Telemans just support Leicester Simples. Not sure if that's the case, you know, really and truly. Maddison is well knowledge that Richard Garlick put out a smoke screen in Maddison as we went out for Odegaard. Vardy, it was an ambitious one. It does happen. Mahrez, we tried. Can't blame that. I don't know how credible Rodgers to Leicester is. I mean, come on now. I honestly... Regardless of what Leicester are doing, Rodgers has shown he left Celtic for Leicester. If Arsenal gave him a proper offer, Rodgers is doing it 100%, not just us. He would have went to Spurs when they looked a bit rubbed and Conte was there. It was meaty. But I hear you, though. Can't really begrudge them. By that logic, you know, Liverpool fans might as well support Southampton. It don't really make sense, Key. Exactly. The ball is going Roma. Should we give Reece Nelson a chance? I would love to see him get a chance, but we're him, Ainsley, Pepe, Torreira, dons like this. We can't be screaming this in 2022 now. Like, it is what it is now. I share some of you lots' opinions, but it's long now, man. It's meaty conversations now. Like, it's new stuff now. Need new stuff. Throw away all the old clothes in the wardrobe. Let's go shopping, buy new stuff. There's no but I bought this. It was expensive. Oh, my mum bought me this. My auntie bought me this before she passed away. Forgive me. You know, I forget all the sentimental things. New stuff now. New drip. New clothes. New clothes. If Gakpo is a secret weapon, then we're F. If Pepe moves, what do you think of Nelson? I mean, Nelson might benefit, but bro, you need to ask yourself. Have an honest conversation with Arteta and ask yourself, do you believe you could play games here? Because the occasional Europa League, being on the subs bench, it might not help you. Xhaka was clearly the weak link versus Everton, so if that doesn't speed up attempts to get centre mid replacements, I don't know what will. Meanwhile, Saliba was class in that friendly. Why are we not trying to get Ruben Neves? To be fair, the man, they are saying 75 million. Like, so they're evidently pricing the man out of a move. Clearly, for whatever reason, but that's crazy. Keep their opinions coming. Get Bellerin out. Give Saliba the 2 and Zinchenko the 12. I mean, numbers, you lot do that up, man. Sky reporting Torreira to Valencia. We did hear that, and hopefully he does F off to Valencia. Is it confirmed? I mean, his agent was doing the chattings. Is that an update sort of thing? Oh, no. But yeah, man, we'll see what that is saying. Big up you lot, man. Top opinions. What position can we finish with this current squad? As high as 4th, as low as 8th, same as all these things, man. Hey, DG, hope you're good. Curious if you're surprised that no big club, not necessarily just us, still hasn't taken a chance on now. Well, yeah, because there must be something booky around him, something fugazi around him, man. To be honest, if Sky Sports start getting onto you, then you're going to do all right. I think, you know, when you look at Martinez, I mean, we can run bants about his height, but for someone that's 5'9", he does do quite well in the air. If I was a centre-back that lacked pace, there's going to be games I lack pace. So evidently, a centre-back lacking height, there's going to be games you just need to be taller. But he does these, and I do not give a crap because he plays for United. I hope he gets cooked. But his metrics in terms of his ball possession, passes forward, his aggression in terms of winning tackles on the ground, actually for a little man in the air as well is quite good. He should thrive. You know, Ten Hag tax because he knows him. He should do half decent round them sides. Hope to be wrong. Need more goals from our midfield players. That's what we lack. Just not good enough right now, DG. True, but we need to get into a scenario where we have strikers and wingers that are going to score as well, which we can't necessarily say we have that, even though I think we do to a degree. Love for the super chat. Still rather savage. I think he means Milinkovic. 11 goals and 11 assists, even in Sunday League, is impressive. He also has size and can control the pace of the game. I mean, him and Fabian Ruiz would be the top sort of brass that I would want. But the dream is free. The hustle is sold separately, as you know, and there's a lot of variables. You know, if Lazio want to take us to the cleaners, you put the money down, you might get the player. Fabian Ruiz probably trying to run down his deal and things like that, even though I don't think Napoli will let you. Do you think Kroenkes are finally backing Arteta? To be honest with you, the last 2 seasons haven't been on the Kroenkes. They've backed you. You spent 50 million on a centre-back that's played 1 season when you bought him in the Premier League. Money's been spent. I know, you know, technically last season we spent more than Man City. We spent 150. They spent 100 million on 1 player, but we spent the most in Europe. You can't say that's not backing. You are now the manager. You're not the head coach. You know, you've been given a new deal. There's been periods at Arsenal where Arteta survived, where certain other managers didn't have that luxury, and that other clubs might have got cooked. For as much as I like Arteta, we can't sit here and say the Kroenkes are not backing him. And I will say what I said the minute he walked into the club, not to defend the Kroenkes or anything, because everyone's to blame and everyone can take part in successes. You know, this ain't the Ritz Hotel. You know, I can't go to Travelodge and complain why there's no caviar. You know what you're stepping into. You know the job you're signing up for. If you can take the praise, you need to take the criticisms. So I don't think it's a not backing thing. You've been back now. Now it's time for you to back yourself. Our fan base is too emotional. Amen. I mean, and then they always look slick, man. The man, them are not too keen on Arthur Melo, but he's potentially a 2-in-1 player like Gundogan at City. He can play centre mid and cover DM just like Gundogan. I mean, he can play. He can do the De Jong thing like at Ajax, where they're not really defensive mids, but they're sitting in that 6th row, primarily receiving the ball off the centre halves and that. But yeah. I don't see why our fan base is gagging for Telemans. Have you seen the existing options boards? There are many better midfielders out there. I'm seeing some man say they want Telemans over Savic and Ruiz. I don't know about that. Them two, I'm taking them ahead of Telemans. But Telemans is lit still. DG Gland, keep the windows open, but close the dark curtains to reduce the heat. Keep hydrated. Neil, big up you lot, man. I'm good for now, though. Nelson can still go uni, fuck, you know. Big up Nelson, man. But all this Arthur talk, just go SMS. To be fair with you, Arthur Melo, Savage, these dons that are playing in Italy, I take it with a pinch of salt. I don't really believe the credibility on when these rumors come out, man. If I'm completely honest about you, man. You man will finish 8th next season, mark my words. Yeah. Is it true Leicester want Pepe? I mean, it was tabloid talk. He's going Batiste. Who's replacing Partey when he's unavailable? You'd have to say if it's like for like, it's young Lukonga or El Nene in terms of the sixes. I think if you got Telemans, there's a reality where Xhaka and Telemans partner each other for a significant part. Now you could probably start throwing Zinchenko into that sort of mix as well, bro. So, yeah, that's my thoughts. Who was the last player signed from Eredivisie who was a success? Suarez was over 10 years ago. DS, you have to really sit down and think about that, but that can't be true, man. Surely. You got a point, though. If we're getting Zinchenko for midfield, 8 Nori from Wolves is a real baller. Should have considered him. I hear that. Trust why? We don't need Arthur Melo. Arteta's changes the club, and that takes more time than buying a player. I mean, he's not changing the club alone, and you're right, he is doing that, but that comes with the territory. You know, when Wenger walked in, he had to change the way people ate and slept and all them things. The same goes for Pep at Barcelona and also at City and even Bayern Munich. The same goes for Sir Alex Ferguson when he walked in the door. The same goes for Jurgen Klopp, you know. As much as I believe you and you're right, bro, that comes with being a manager, bro. If guys are not thinking like winners, you need to start thinking like winners to go and do things. But one man can't change it, really, man. On one hand, I'd praise Arteta for a lot, but on the other hand, I can't praise a manager for managing, bro. Like some of these things, sometimes I think with Arsenal fans, the things that Arteta deserves praise for, nobody says anything, and the things you shouldn't be praising a man for, people are overdoing it. But yeah, man, these men are forcing the Brazilian thing. I want Telemans over Ruiz and Savage. Can't say I back that, but I hear that. Arthur Melo is not what we want. Telemans is rubbish. 100% get on. Don't know. I was disappointed that Jesus went to City 6 years ago simply because I knew he wouldn't be playing at his full potential in that loaded squad. But now I'm so excited to see him playing 90 minutes at my favorite club. Let's go. I mean, unless we marry the squad with proper players, he's not going to get his full potential. And not just him, a lot of dons, really. So I hear you. So, you know, one thing I'm finding funny in this chat, and nothing's funny, opinions are welcome. Very polarizing. There's no really ones in the middle with Arthur Melo. People are not here to entertain it, or some people are really championing it. Credit to United. That's a good signing for United in Ericsson, but it's not relevant, man. Man said DG was a success. I've gone back over there. Look at you, man. Prick. Big up yourself, man. How many players did Arsenal sign and what age? It's like 7, 8 players for that money. I kind of just said that, so I'm not too sure what you're saying there. And, you know, that comes with the territory, really and truly. And if you're buying a young squad, which I'm not criticizing, the whole squad, that's cool. But the rest of the Premier League aren't going to go, oh, Arsenal are doing this youngster thing. Let's wait for them. So I'm not too sure. But I don't know if you're actually listening. You're just speaking, but you're kind of agreeing with me. We kind of have the same thoughts. 2 of these, 1 of this, 10 of these. Let's start applying the ratios in the correct manner in life. Big up you, though. Shout out you. Shout out everybody tuned in, man. Man said, where's that super chat? Man said, Ray and Neff. Even for me, it's too early. This is water, man. You can see that shit crystal clear, man. I ain't advertising them. They don't listen. They follow me on Instagram. They still ain't bust me a free bottle or no sponsors. We're not talking. It's W and N. We're not, no. I'm not even gonna, we're not even advertising them thing there. You lot got all the jokes today, innit? Jay, you're a funny guy, innit? You're a proper funny guy, innit? You got all the banter in the office right now. Shout out all the moderators and members and that. Come on, man. Appreciate your super chat, man. Arthur Melo is meaty, Brazilian, right? Where do you rank your business so far out the top 6? I don't know, but I wouldn't say it's the best. I mean, Raheem Sterling, Chelsea going to get some good centre-backs, got Koulibaly in. What, Liverpool got Darwin Núñez, don't know how good he's going to be. Who else have they got? I like Spurs' signings, fair. Not really Richarlison, but I think he'll fit into what Conte wants. They've made some good signings to go with what they did in January, to be fair with you. We signed Jesus. If you get Zinchenko, it's in a step in the right direction. United have brought in Lissandro Ericsson and trying to get De Jong. If it was up to them, De Jong would be a player for them, but he's moving like a yacht. So I wouldn't say the best. I don't know. I'd have to really sit down. That's difficult off the top of my head, man. A lot of the clubs in the top 6 are making moves. Some of the moves haven't been done. Crazy, man. We signed Saliba ages ago, mate. I didn't say nothing about Saliba. Fair enough. Arthur Melo would be good for the price / Brazilian chemistry. One love for the super chat, my guy. Andy, appreciate that. Yes, DG, who would you like to see realistically after Zinchenko to get us back into the Champions League? This word realistic rules out Milinkovic-Savic, rules out Fabian Ruiz. I'd like to see Telemans over the line. Then I'd rather Telemans over Arthur Melo. I hope you can get Paqueta. I hope you can get a, let's just say, right winger, but I don't actually know, man. I don't actually know. Where are we at in terms of likes as well? Are you lot, man? 209 likes. You lot got to get better at informing me, man. Keep your opinions, etc., coming in, people. But a promise is a promise. 51:37, let's say. Let's get into the transfer news. Let's actually timestamp that as well. Transfer news. Where do we start? How do we start? Who do we start with? Shall I spin the block again for Arsenal on Google? Link us with something, man. Lie to us. Tell us someone wavy is trying to join the club. Link us with something wavy, man. Nothing wavy right now, but hopefully. Keep your opinions coming. I'll circle the block again for you lot, people. Transfer news. Let's start with Emil Smith-Rowe. He's actually given an interview, allegedly. Or in fact, man, let's just start with it, man. He's our boy, innit? Let's start with this. Emil Smith-Rowe, I think's given an interview on how last season went. He said it's definitely tough looking back on it. It was in our hands. The Spurs game, it was tough. It wasn't a nice atmosphere in the dressing room. All the boys were down. The manager picked us up and we had another chance after that, but it didn't go our way in the end. Going forward, we have just got to stick together as a team. Stick together, bro. Not just sticking together in the Buki games like Spurs, the first time we played Spurs at the Emirates, where they were good performance for us, but they're crazy games. You need to stick together. Brighton away, where we crumbled and we got away with a point. Crystal Palace away, Crystal Palace at home, Crystal Palace at home, Everton away, Manchester United away. You took the leads and failed to walk away with 3 points. Anytime you do that, anytime you're not prepared for, anytime it's a hostile environment, we're in problems. There's only so many times where the sun's shining and it's a level playing field in terms of atmosphere. We really, as much as it's about tactics, there's a mental barrier for some of these players. How good are you at your worst? And for Arsenal, we're either amazing or poor, literally all or nothing. But you are right. We fumbled. We are a young team. We're still getting there. It's fuel for us going forward, and we can't wait to start the season. Big up you, man. I hope so, brother. It will be a good season, a tough season. The big clubs are buying players, and every season is hard, but we are confident. It's been a long time since we've been in the Champions League. We need to get back in it, not just for us, but for the fans as well. Big up you, Smith-Rowe, man. What has he said as well? He spoke about the shoot they did for Black Lives Matter. It was a scary time in 2020 when I was out among people and didn't know what was going on. I knew that if I wore my kit, someone has got my back. That's what Arsenal is always about. All right. He spoke on Jesus. He's been fantastic since he came in. It feels like he's been here for a couple of years. Everyone knows how good he is, and we can't wait to get started with him. City are a big club. They've won a lot recently. It'd be good if he can bring that winning mentality and help us out. But you lot all need to buy into what he's doing. He spoke on Fabio Vieira. He's similar to Silva. He's a very good passer of the ball. His left foot is very good, and he likes to create and score goals them himself. I've already played against him at international level, so I can't speak highly enough of him, and the fans should be really excited. At the Euro 21s, they beat us 2-0, and he was unbelievable that game. And then he then said, as a young player, you don't really care where you play. You just want to be playing. I'm open to everything. We'll see what happens. It must be through, my guy. Again, in relation to Zinchenko, people, I think there's a lot of things to go over with Zinchenko. But where Zinchenko is concerned, people, let's get all of these things together. Zinchenko, Arsenal step up Zinchenko talks to push through £35 million move. He is in America, people, so he would just need to travel from whatever state City are in to come and link us and get things done, people. Arsenal will accelerate talks with Zinchenko this week as they look to wrap up a move from Manchester City wing-back Zinchenko. We're expected to pay up to 35 million. Talks are progressing and have progressed very well over the weekend. A final fee is close to being finalized, and Arsenal are also working to agree personal terms with the 25-year-old Ukraine international. A key factor in them talks will be around the plans Mikel Arteta has for Zinchenko, who is hungry for more regular starts than he had at City. Zinchenko is appealing to Arsenal because of his versatility, and he's a player who would strengthen them at left back and also in midfield. Obviously, Arteta's worked with him before. So, yeah, and we're in America. So, again, it is what it is. Arsenal want a deal for Zinchenko wrapped up quickly, given the season starts in under 3 weeks. And with Tierney's injury record, again, you need to be fit really and truly. So, hopefully, we can do something there in that regard. Again, mainly just reiterating the same things. Arsenal hope to conclude a deal with Manchester City to sign Zinchenko early this week. A total package is understood to be in the region of 30 to 35 million quid. Allegedly, personal terms won't be an issue, people. So after 6 years at City, Zinchenko seems to be making the move to Arsenal. And again, you can see it from fullback. You look at his passes completed in the final third, forward passes, assists, and passing accuracy. He scores quite high. For the first 3, he scores first, then he's fourth for forward passing, and then 5th. And when you're not playing on a regular basis and you've got, Reece James, Trent, and Andy Robertson in the league, you're going to be in issues. And for me, even if he plays fullback, you can help contribute going forward as well. And, the big drop off with Tomiyasu and Tierney is obviously they're 2 of our best players and best defenders, but we also lose a lot going forward. And when you've got that added into the cocktail, we've got midfielders where on the best of days, Xhaka and Partey can't control the tempo and dictate the forward passes to get the other guys in consistently, people. So hopefully this could be a big sign. I don't think he's perfect, but the 25-year-old would give us a lot. Allegedly, Leno to Fulham talks are continuing, people, over the sale. We're haggling over a gap in his valuation. We're open to letting him go, so we'll have to see what happens there, people. I know he's got a World Cup dream and I want him to go fulfill that, but a harsh part of me says, F that. Run out your contract, because I think we're in big trouble if Ramsdale gets injured. Big up Matt Turner. Valencia have an interest in Torreira. We did hear he's got an agreement with Valencia, but they need to find an agreement with our club, people. Hopefully he can keep it moving. Apparently clubs in the Championship and Bundesliga are interested in taking Balogun on loan. I'd love for Balogun to go to the Bundesliga. I think there's a lot of lessons he could learn in the Championship, especially if he goes back to Middlesbrough and plays under Chris Wilder. So it is what it is in that regards, people. I mean, again, I've seen this graphic between Xhaka and Zinchenko more times than I care for, so I'm not going to keep reading it all out, but it shows how it can be used in midfield, and it shows his heat map. He pulls over to the left-hand side quite a lot. So these are things to consider, folks. So, yeah, it is what it is. What's this saying? Again, this is talking about Man City stepping up their pursuit for Cucurella and the knock-on effect that has, people. I've read this article already, so I'm going to scroll all the way down, specifically to the part where it's of relevance to us, people. City are in Houston, Texas, and we're going to be in Orlando, Florida. No clue how the logistics work around getting to and from certain states. But City are in Houston, Texas for a friendly against Club America tomorrow. Zinchenko is waiting for the green light to leave their training camp and travel across America to link up with his new teammates at Arsenal. So, again, personal terms, fees need to be agreed, medicals need to be conducted, but you'd be inclined to believe these are not problems then, really and truly. These are not issues or barriers, better yet. So it seems that we're making progress where Zinchenko is concerned, folks. Again, in terms of making progress, just in terms of bringing in players, you've got to keep players. Arsenal have been in talks with Bukayo Saka's camp over contract extension since February and consider it a priority for this summer. Despite top English clubs monitoring the situation, Saka's priority is to stay at Arsenal. He loves the club. So tie him down, get big money from City when the time comes, innit? And Arteta spoke about it in the aftermath of the friendly with Everton. He said, Saka wants one thing, we want one thing. It's a matter of time. So we'll have to see how that develops, folks. I don't know why I looked at this, but you can look at this, you look at Zinchenko's percentiles passing thing at fullback. He scores quite high for a lot of things, really. So you lot can go and take that one there in as well, people. Receiving, creating, shooting, passing, defending. He does quite well at all of this, people. So, yeah, man. via StatsBomb and Opta and that. I don't know if Con Marble Halls is a credible journalist and things. You know, everyone seems to have been taking a hit over the Rafinha business, but he's alleged to have said another meeting with middlemen, well, intermediaries, better yet, of Leicester City over the signing of Telemans. Arsenal have set their price. 30 million gets him. Arsenal working on 2 centre midfielders. Player wants Arsenal move, so down to Arsenal to submit official offer, guaranteed 30 million for Leicester to accept. So I mean, if you could get Zinchenko and Telemans, that probably that's us wrapped up. Or maybe Zinchenko is seen as a fullback able to play in midfield and will play significantly there, and then it's a Telemans and Arthur Melo thing and something like that, or Paqueta. What I would want to see, Paqueta, Telemans, Zinchenko to go with Fabio Vieira. You've got 4 men that can really all play on the left side of centre mid and put pressure on things. Milinkovic-Savic links seem to have been gone, my guys, so I can't really see it, man. Zinchenko is our best attacking fullback if he comes into that role, amen. So it is what it is. Man United have agreed a £57 million deal for Lisandro Martinez. That would have, you know, if Arsenal spent that on a centre-half that can play at left-back in midfield, I'm looking at Arteta funny. So they're paying an initial 49 million, further 8.5 in add-ons and 2.2 million in payments to his former club. So if it works, innit, people? Racy. That amount can increase to 67.3 million euros through variables. So, yeah. You know, Ajax done a number over Arsenal and United because that's probably more than United wanted to pay as well. I saw this, and where has it gone? Leadership roles. You know, Martin Odegaard's going to end up being our captain, really and truly. And, you know, he's spoken about leadership roles. Young players taking on leadership roles brings the best out of the Arsenal squad. It should, but we should also let you lot be young men as well. I think maybe I've improved that quality a little bit with time and experience. I've been through a lot of things, ups and downs, and I think all that makes you stronger. Amen. He feels the squad already has a lot of experience and describes his teammates as big talents. Odegaard said he's played a lot of games on a high level and shares that experience with teammates. I feel more confident and more calm on the pitch, so I try to use that in a good way and do what's best for the team. I think here everyone expects you to take that leadership role, even if you're young. That brings out the best of young players coming through. So definitely, I think everyone here feels like they need to be on their best and they need to take part and take ownership of everything they do. I mean, that's true. And when I look at you, Smith Rowe, just by leading by example, Saka by leading by example, Martinelli, but with this a bit of a passion merchant, Guendouzi when he was here, the young players have really been setting it for this football club. And the older Gabriel and the oldest players, apart from players like Xhaka, and I class Tommy Asu as that because listen, I know he's in his early 20s, but I'm pretty sure he's like 40. They're the only ones that really reflect it. The other, you know, Ramsdale to a degree as well. Everyone else moves kind of soft. He said, I think we have a big fan base here and a big support, so it's nice to come here and play in front of them and then hopefully make them happy with the games and give them some good moments. When you travel like this, you see how big the club is, and then you see the support we have all over the world. That's great stuff. Away from that, Arsenal boosted in Oliver Zinchenko pursuit. We're trying to accelerate the transfer plan. I think this is just reiterating what we went through already, people. With that, Mikel Arteta refuses to rule out Arsenal transfer move for Yuri Telemans. I bet this is clickbait from the Scum newspaper. He said, there are more things that we'd like to do if we can, but the market will dictate what we can do. But so far, we are happy with what we have done. And then he said on Telemans, we never talk about players that are not ours. As I said before, we can improve the team. We're still in the market and we're going to try to do it, but we're not going to go into any specific names. So, yeah, he didn't drop any dimes there. Premier League clubs reignite their interest in Juventus. Man, apparently, according to Football Italia, we've been linked with Arthur Melo. It hasn't worked out for him. They want to move him on. They want to bring in other midfielders. We did try to get him in January. We did have his agent at London Coley, so you could see why maybe if we don't get Telemans and it seems like them rumours are accelerating, maybe that's where this has come from. I can't verify because I don't know, but it's something to consider, folks, really and truly. Arthur Melo, I want Telemans first. I know we're not getting Milinkovic-Savic and Fabian Ruiz, but I would love them. I would rather Telemans over Arthur Melo. I think Arthur Melo's a decent player, confident in possession, you know, can dictate the tempo on his day, a bit of damaged goods. But saying that, as I said, not quite the player that initially touched down in Europe from Brazil. Ain't really hit potential. Doesn't have the best, you know, picks up a little knocks. For me, plays too many 5-yard passes, and he does kind of play within himself. So, I mean, I would sanction it, but I'm not really for it, if I'm honest with you. So we're going to skip that. Arsenal to we're going to circle back over that. Arsenal to reignite their interest in Juventus star Arthur Melo despite nearing Zinchenko deal. Arsenal nearly agreed a deal to sign Juventus midfielder Arthur Melo on an 18-month loan with an option to buy in Jan, but the move was vetoed by higher up. So now why are we going for him then? Has things changed? Has goalpost shifted? Are the people higher up able to do it now or see what Arthur Melo has? Have we hit a spanner in the work with other targets where Telemans and maybe Lucas Paqueta are concerned? I don't know, people. But it says we're going back in for him. I don't know why. It doesn't say anything creditable. It seems like we're just playing off the fact that we once upon a time had interest. Arsenal once again interested in signing Arthur Melo. At the moment, the Brazilian only wants to listen to offers from Barcelona or Arsenal. Apparently, Xavi's open to taking him back. This is where the initial news came out from. In the last few hours, the Arthur Melo Arsenal court has heated up again and talks between the two clubs have resumed after negotiations last January. So make of that what you will. We'll get into that in a second, people, where Jeremy Doku is concerned. Lucas Paqueta, apparently he could join for 34 million. They could accept as little as 34 million. That's a dramatic drop off from 55 million quid and 80 million euros. Why is that? Reports from France have suggested the price may be considerably lower. 34 million may be enough to get the deal done. It's suggested that Lyon may take the lower figure out of respect for Paqueta. For respect, really? Zinchenko ain't a midfielder. You know you don't believe that, but all right. I don't believe that at all. We've also been apparently linked with Jeremy Doku, and this was the only source I saw speaking about it, so take it with a pinch of salt. If it for 15 million, I wouldn't mind it, but I think he's a development sort of player. Yes, he's a Belgium international, still learning tricks and trades at Rennes. You know, he's not the most prolific, you know, in all his appearances currently. You know, he got bought almost instantly from Anderlecht. He's played 55 times for Rennes, 4 goals, 6 assists. Really and truly, 14 goals in 99 career appearances at this moment in time. You know, 5 goals in the Belgium top flight and 7 assists, but 33 appearances in 44 top flight games in France. 3 goals, 5 assists. There is development to be done, and again at a fair price. But he's not prolific. We need a winger that's going to get numbers. He is only 20. There is resale value. He is strong one with each one. Us and Liverpool did want him when he was a youth, man. So I don't really believe this rumor, but it is where it is. You know, again, Liverpool were close to getting him at 16. And if you look at what Jeremy Doku's dad said once upon a time, at 16, Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea, City, Ajax, PSV were interested. We visited Liverpool and Ajax. My preference was Liverpool. Gerrard showed us analyst videos. Mignolet, Mane, Wijnaldum came to talk to us at Melwood, how we were received there. So, yeah, man, it is what it is. Apparently, he's one of Arsenal's main targets. I'd rather that than Cody Gakpo. He would be, you know, the Cody Gakpo links, the Noah Lang, all of them sort of wingers there. I'd rather him, really, or no one. I'd rather we didn't get Rafinha, but the Rafinhas, the Sanes, the Gnabry's, Lucas Paqueta's ability to play there, them sort of guys. But if we're going after the development wingers, I'm here for Jeremy Doku. You know, we were linked with Bowen and Harvey Barnes. I might be open to pursuing that a bit more before this, but I'd rather him than Cody Gakpo, Noah Lang, Pepe from Porto. And a year from now, I might be champion signing these players. But at this moment in time, that's where I'm going with it. Troyes look to beat Premier League competition to sign in Giallo. Apparently, this 19-year-old is he became the youngest player to feature in the Portuguese top flight in 2019. What's he done since then? And he now looks set for a move, people. Apparently, he's drawing interest from Arsenal, Newcastle, Everton, and Southampton. He's a Portugal under-19 individual as well, people. He made his debut for Benfica at the age of 16. His contract expires at 2024. So that could be one we're interested in using for money-making purposes. So it could be one to explore, people. I'm not too sure on that. What's this? This ex-Arsenal scout explained us going for Jeremy Doku in 2018, people. He said, we were a small delegation from Arsenal and we got in touch with his parents. We tried to push to bring Doku to the club, but they trusted the project at Anderlecht. Credit to them. So fair play. And, you know, you've become an international footballer. So, you know, mummy and daddy done the right thing. Ryan Elabosu could be going out on loan again to follow on terms of what he did at Crewe. He could be joining Kilmarnock. In my opinion, this 20-year-old is never going to make the grade at Arsenal Football Club. So it's now that you need to go and do what you're doing. He had a couple of years ago, he had a very good campaign at fullback. But, yeah, man, I just don't think he has it. It's nothing to do with me. I don't work for Arsenal, but it is what it is where that's concerned. If you still want to have some hope, some sort of hope around Sane, folks, then there you have it. Leroy Sane, next objective of ambitious Arsenal. He's valued at 70 million euros. Boy, I don't know if that's to be believed, people. You know, perhaps, you know, even if you did agree something with Bayern Munich, because there was a report that they need to make money and sell players, you have to convince Sane. And apart from Arteta working with him, I don't know, because if Sane was genuinely available, there's a lot of top clubs in Europe that would be in for him, really. I'm having Sane if he wants to sign for the club, but this just seems like clickbait, really. So it is what it is with that's concerned, people. Arsenal decided to pull back from making a bid for Lyon midfielder Lucas Paqueta, as they have 3 other players who can play in the same position as the Brazilian, says Fabrizio Romano. I think he's not the main priority, I am told, for Arsenal now. So maybe something could happen in the coming weeks or at the end of the window. But the president of Lyon is really complicated, so it'll be difficult to negotiate. And Arsenal already have a number of quality players. They have Fabio Vieira, Odegaard signed last summer. They have Smith Rowe with many others. And if you get Zinchenko. So I can't believe that. Some article, you just saw some article saying 28, 30 million. This says 55. You do that, maybe it gets done. Arteta spoke on how demanding it's been doing his job in front of the cameras for the all or nothing thing. He said, honestly, it was challenging, but as well, I think it was an incredible experience personally for the club, and everyone can see the reality without any boundaries about how it works on a daily basis at the club. On a personal level, obviously, it was really demanding because you're on camera for 24/7. You tend to forget about it, but when they talk about Big Brother houses and people can do certain things, it's true. Because I've experienced that you forget about the cameras. Probably the documentary you'll see. I don't think that now, unfortunately. Now, probably we are going to have a camera there. I would not do it, but they are done. He was then asked on his level of, if things were centered. He said, I haven't seen anything. I think that I'm the only person at senior level that hasn't seen it. If there are issues, it will be my blame because I did it or someone else did it. Crazy. I don't know what's going on there. I don't know what any of this is. So, yeah, people, once again, Arsenal hope to close deal for Manchester City's Zinchenko early this week. So everybody just reiterating the same thing. So in terms of transfers, it all seems a bit meaty, really and truly. So, yeah, I think that's that, people. Let me get back into specifically what you lot are saying in the comments. One love for tuning in, people. You lot make the content. Don't forget Twitch Gang, 4 p.m. We're playing FM. So, yeah, that's transfer news. When's the doc out? 4th of August, allegedly. And then what we play the next day. Suleimana is quite decent, but another one who's very raw, the young Ghanaian international. I'm taking one of them, really, especially when we're linked with some of these development players, as we said, but they're very raw. I would rather just leave these lot for 18 months and see how they develop. But then again, if Jeremy Doku has a great season for France, plays at the World Cup, we just saw allegedly 15 million, that might even be double or triple, especially with English clubs. So it is what it is where that's concerned. We can take a punt on him. I mean, it's low risk, innit? 15 million, I don't mind that. Henry weren't a striker. And I know what the common belief is, but you just need to do research. Arthur Melo is an overrated player. Remember the last time we took a player from the old lady became king? That's true. But I don't mean that's going to happen with everyone. And, it's not like Omri didn't have, I know people of a certain age, maybe more so 27 years of age and younger, definitely younger. Some people don't even remember Omri as a player. I know they look at it a bit funny, but man act like Omri wasn't a household name before he signed for Arsenal. Like, you get it a bit like some fans younger than me with Bergkamp. Like, you forgetting what these guys did in the game before they signed for Arsenal. He was damaged goods, and we then made him 30. He did play out wide. He did have the ability to play out front. He just never had confidence. Arsene Wenger busted him. I don't quite think Zinchenko or whoever you lot are making Juventus examples. Avoiding the Martinez deal shows Edu is learning. To be fair, I do think Edu has shown he'll walk away from things. I don't know what other channels are doing. I can't see anything with Milinkovic-Savic. We always say we just go through these articles. The hustle, the dream is free. The hustle is sold separately. Very rarely the half of these transfer things become a reality, really. It's easy to link us with Milinkovic-Savic. Arsenal are dying for transfers. We're dying for players of that ilk, really. And the man clearly wants to leave Lazio. Leadership roles should be stuck on experienced dons. Let the young ones stay young. I hear that. What else are we saying? Melo or Telemans, no Brazilian boss. I said I'd rather Telemans. Big up South London's finest. People, get the likes up to 300 now. Unexpected high bills and subscribe. Roll to 50,000. Follow Twitch links in the description. In the descriptions. Crazy. Thierry Henry once said the badge is too heavy for some players. There's a difference between a footballer and a person who plays football for money. Mentality is key. To be honest, a lot of people play football for money, bro. But mentality is key. To be fair, if you're money orientated, especially football, then you realize that it's a small career. Then you ride even harder for your team, pause, and them things there. Really, it comes down to the individual. Some people are money grabbers and they down tools. Sometimes it makes people go more, really and truly. It's just mentality. If your mentality is soft, you shouldn't be here, innit? But you're right, the badge is too heavy and for certain, man. Yeah, a lot of clubs. Top four, I don't know, but the teams I would say, at my opinion, are shooting for top four or the top three from last year: City, Liverpool, Chelsea, and then I think it will be Spurs, United, Arsenal fighting. Maybe if Arsenal or specifically Arteta learns his experience and at times does certain things, we might get top four. Obviously, if Ten Hag's able to fix things, United were in the race and they shot themselves in the foot. Spurs did get top four. They have the Conte factor. You know, they've out of all the teams, I think they've got the team that reflects Conte the most, and they've got experienced players and people that are ready kind of for now with a lot of them. So it could be that, but it's a toss of a hat. I would just say Chelsea, Liverpool, City, all shoe-ins, in my opinion. No, Melo can't do a job in Italy. Was all right for Barca. Not convinced. I wouldn't say Arthur Melo is meaty, but I want as many players between Xhaka and that first team. He's meaty. He could do a thing, man. With all due respect, please, no Melo. Melo ain't all that, but he ain't meaty. Yeah, meaty's harsh. I take it back, man. The level just above meaty. He's rubbed at this moment in time. I don't rate Melo. If you ain't cutting it for Juventus, why buy a player that's not playing good? I mean, Juventus and us, two different things. The only thing too, he does have a point to prove. I mean, he's a good player, man. The thing is, you sign for Arsenal, you know, half these people saying he's rubbed and they wouldn't sign him, they start dropping their knickers for the guy, man. Pause. People are really rubbing out Melo. If he comes in, he's one of the best midfielders on or off or the best on the ball. I hear that. Arthur would be all right for the squad. I remember when some fans said Melo could be a Santi regen, exactly, puffing out their chest too high. Who's had the best transfer window so far, mate, in the Prem? Don't know, really. Don't know. I'd have to sit down and think about it. Do you think Marquinhos will feature in the Liga 2 at all? Or do you see him only in the cup games, or do you think he'll just play in the reserves? I think he'll be a squad player. He'll be on the bench a lot and things, if provided he shows Arteta he could be used. But there might be an avenue to go out on loan. What he needs to do is use this America tour to kind of convince Arteta you can be utilised, didn't it? Man said white rum is crystal clear top. Leave me, mate. Football Manager would think that, man. It's too early for that. This ain't Southampton where you keep a player getting pammed 9-0. Arsenal's a top club. Arteta set foundations. Now it's time to weep what you sow. Hear that? Very divided when it comes to Arthur Melo, innit, folks? Very divided. Arthur Melo is a baller, but he can't be the only one. I wouldn't mind Melo if we got another midfielder as well. I hear you lot. Arsenal can't afford to buy players that aren't Premier League tested. Incorrect. But I hear that. I'm worried academy players not getting minutes in pre-season. I mean, I am, but at the same time, I'll be real, I don't give a crap because we need to be fighting for top four. Do I think any young player right now is good enough to shake up things? No. I think there's some very talented players. Do I think there's a young Saka there? Do I think there's a young Smith Rowe there? No, none of them are ready right now. Of course, I can't justify Arteta not bringing them on and stuff, but I think there's a lot of song and dance made, really and truly, with some of these players, really. You know, I think there's a lot of song and dance made over Marcelo Flores. I think he should have went. Him and Patino should have went. But they're not ready for Premier League football at this moment in time. And as I said it before, you look at last season, how many on the bench to play in. Go out and go and get football. Some of you are only going to get Europa League football. And even that, you're going to come off the bench. That's done. If you're lucky, that's done after the next. That's done actually after the group stage because you're getting rubbed out. I do think Arteta doesn't give chances to the youth a chance that much. But at the same time, if he did all of that and we're getting ripped, fans don't care. And I know fans just cry for players. But there needs to be a lot more. I don't think anyone's ready. But I do think a number of young players deserved it. Shout out to Waters. Would have loved Brook Norton, Coffey, Patino and Flores to all travel. And obviously when Amari was at the club, they did. And it is what it is. You know, for Brook, even in fact, I would say no to Brook because if I'm Brook, I'm trying to go Championship on loan or back to League One and do all of these sort of things. I don't think Flores is ball retention is good enough. I don't think he plays with his head up well enough. I think he's a bit too raw. So Battery can play a number of roles, loves to, very positive attitude. Apparently, Secret Scout is saying clubs in MLS are chasing Marcelo Flores on loan. The talented Mexican wasn't part of the first team pre-season and scored for the 23s. Should try and go on loan, but MLS, obviously with him being Mexican, that could obviously boost your chances. We'll have to see what's going on there. City serious recruitment drive. Where is the? Apparently, I can't speak on this for obvious reasons, but factors in Amari's move to Chelsea, depth of attackers in his position, Gabriel Martinelli, Pepe, Saka, Nelson. You look at Chelsea and they play with less wingers, but Chelsea, it's almost like a job. They probably got not that Arsenal don't, but they say, cool, forget all of that. This is how we're going to improve you. This is what we're trying to make you look like at 18, 19, 20 years of age. It won't surprise me if Amari goes there, does what he can at Chelsea and cuts out permanently or somewhere. I think Chelsea see this as a money-making thing. We can turn him into a Premier League Championship player, make a couple of million. He sees I can get paid, I can learn, and I can cut out and utilize what Chelsea have been doing with young players. The list goes on. It is what it is. It's disappointing, but we're at where we're at. I don't really care to keep going over this. Amari Hutchinson and me will always have a supporter. Will always support the lad, want him to do as well as he can. But beyond that, it's myth now. Arsenal's decision to sign a 19-year-old Marquinhos, who is similar. Apparently, lack of youth taken on pre-season. Kevin Betsy's departure as well. Amari's no idiot. He knows managers leaving is part and parcel. He knows Arsenal always bringing in players, and maybe the fact that Marquinhos went on tour, but we don't know if he's going to play or go out on loan, and that was something that's a factor already. And obviously, it is a congested area, but I just think a lot of song and dance is made. I don't think anyone's good enough to be mixing up. You never know until you get a chance, but I don't think anyone in Patino, Amari, Flores, none of them are Brooke, none of them are ready to play Premier League football. None of them. Keep developing them. Let's see what they're looking like in the next 18 months, 12 months, and then see. They're saying that I am obviously somewhat concerned with Arteta's reluctance to use them, but there's a lot of pressure. We need this top 4 thing. We need this Europa League thing. You can't have it all in it, so it is what it is. I'm too tired for any of that, but yeah, man. It is what it is in that concern. Best signing this year, Saliba. Like a new signing, but he's not a new signing. He just come back from loan. Just bring in some ballers. Amen. Easier said than done, but amen. I hear that. Amari fainted everyone except Arteta, boy. Need players with Prem experience. Prem is the toughest league in the world. The right players, man. Premier League experience only matters if you're good. I'd like to see us bring in Julian Brandt as a centre midfielder. A couple years too late for that one. How do guys have such strong opinions on players we're all linked with? It's like guys watched every single game of football in the world. Well, you know how football is set. Dreaming of Sane and Paqueta. Dream is free. Hustle is sold separately. City have had the best window. They've just won the league without a striker and have just signed arguably the best striker available for less than 60. I hear that. Jeremy Doku would be a steal. Ainsley, his time is done. Just depends on who takes him. I'd take Doku and just wait and see. I don't know anything about him, but if they do their research, I'll just wait and see. Eddie said this summer would be 2 major signings. If Vieira isn't one, means we have 1 left. We can't sign them all. Bayern has had the best window. Are we really going into the season with just Jesus and Nketiah as striking options? Call me crazy, but I think we need 1 more there or maybe another winger and Martinelli central sometimes. I don't think that's crazy. I think that's something everyone shares. Phil is not happy with Melo. He's saying, Melo, not for me, DG. We seriously need a right back. Kula was dead at Juventus. Look, I remember going through my January transfer window. I was vexed because it's like Spurs were watching the vids. I wanted Bentancur and Kulusevski. Look at them now. People are looking at them like they're rubbed. But you're getting a tune out of them. So maybe Arthur Melo could go with that. Love for next super chat. Goes hand in hand. You play good. The money is good. Yo, DJ, I wrote to Henry in primary school and he didn't reply. Other kids all got packages from Beckham. Never felt the sadness I felt. I'm not going to lie. Thierry Henry comes across as a bit of a cunt. I love the guy. And that's actually why I don't want to meet him. Because if I meet you and you diss me, which, big up Sandro, he got dissed by Henry. That's changing everything, bro. All of a sudden, you never scored in no finals for Arsenal when we needed you. I don't want to meet him because it don't seem like there's too many. I'm sure he's a humble guy, but it don't seem like there's too many good experiences for us commoners meeting Thierry. I don't want to hate you, my dude. I don't want. That's my biggest fear. If I ever met Arsene Wenger and he boys me, I can't. I'm gonna get on to you. What do you think of Immobile? He's immobile in the Prem. Dead that man. Would you rather Savage over Telemans? Yeah. I mean, Doku could be a decent one in the squad. As I said, you know, out of all the rubbish guys, rubbish isn't the worst ones. Out of all the meaty ones, I'd rather him. I mean, we probably need Telemans over Paqueta, but Paqueta's wavy, isn't it? Honestly, looking at Leroy Sané, his goals and assists in buying less than 10, but he's a good footballer, but he ain't moving to Arsenal. I don't think anyone expects Sané to sign, man. Doku is a good player, but he's a project player. Arthur Melo would take, but it just seems past hype. But Paqueta going to be worth more than 34 million. I mean, it's just worse, man. He doesn't work in Allegri's terrible system, but maybe he works better in ours, such as football. Zinchenko ain't a midfielder. No, for me, we don't need Arthur Melo. Telemans is the answer for me. Knows the Prem so well, and he's a much better player than Melo. I don't think you could confidently say Telemans is a much better player than Melo. Obviously, Arthur Melo looks rubbed at the moment, but I can't convincingly say that. So I don't know for any of that. Let's see if there's any other news surrounding Arsenal. Isn't that guy like 32 years of age? Nah, dead that, man. Letting go of Martinez means Saliba is staying for the season. Could probably put to bed the Gabriel leaving hype because he's a left-sided centre-half and them sort of things there. Interesting comments, man. Interesting comments. It means Zinchenko's not going to exclusively play in midfield nor at left back. He's just going to do what he's doing at City. Have a bigger role in the squad, play a lot more minutes, but your adaptability, you know, it's almost like me. Every team I've gone to, I've not been able to escape playing left back. At Barnet Salsa, shout out Wrongans, and we're not even listening to other team because you, man, in fact, AFC Edmonton, you lot gave me an award even though I've never played for the team again. Just can't get away from that left back role. Versatility can kill you sometimes. Just can't get away. To be fair, last season I got to do the movie thing, right wing, and that scored and that. So yeah, man. Really, you can't say that. What did I say? I could say whatever I want, mate. Henry always looks stiff. Henry dissed me at Selfridge. You see the man there, bro. Henry ain't got time for it. I don't want that. You need to move like Ian Wright. Big up Wrighty, man. He just shows my love on that. Marquinhos is the new Alexis Sanchez. DG, what's your thoughts on playing a back three with Saliba? It needs to be done. Back three, not just him. You need to be able to play a back three with the main centre backs in Gabriel, Saliba, and obviously Ben White. Holding definitely looks twice the player in the back three. Tomiyasu, if something's going on at right back, can play there. Tierney can play there as well. We need at times to go to a back three. I want to see 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1 every day of the week. But there's some games, some scenarios, whether it's the games and the opponents, whether it's injuries, whether it's the form, whether we've been shipping goals, we need to move to a back three. I know a lot of people see back threes and get a bit scared and saying it's defensive. It's as offensive or as defensive as you make it. City have played back threes at times and they've not changed. And for me, at times it gives us a lot of confidence. Like when Arteta first came in, forgive me if I'm wrong, but did we not play a back three en route to winning the FA Cup when Arteta came in? I might be lying to you lot. Sometimes it gives us a bit more confidence going forward than players in general. It is what it is. You're such a wasshead, G. I mean, I don't mind, man. You have to wonder why on one of the hottest days in the UK, you're listening to a wasshead. That makes you a dickhead. Like, well, I guess we're two peas in a pod. I'd love to get into your girls' pod. Love, my guy. Love for that. Have a great day, though, my dude, man. Big up yourself. Big up Delusional. 2 strikers seems too limited. Are we still considering Martinelli as an option? Martinelli playing up there. If you could find a cut price target, man, why not, man? Or, you know, Arteta might take a leaf out the Pep Guardiola book and play no strikers at some point. Like I'm telling, man, no matter you think City care, you think Pep cares, there's going to be a time, 9 times out of 10, Haaland's going to play. But there's going to be a time Haaland's not playing. They're still going to play no striker. It's crazy. Amazing opinions, people. Amazing opinions. Man said, what I said, bro. Some hard fight, bro. I just know he's from the new era of Hackney where all the gentrification is, man. That's such a positive insult. Like, wow. What would you think about getting an elite right back and Tomiyasu being inverted left and centre back option? Listen, Tomiyasu could be fighting rotation option at right back. He could do his thing at centre back. if need be, like bodies are dropping like flies left back. But I'm not trying to see that. I want to write back that can fight Tomiyasu. I want to write back because if Tomiyasu is not there, we're in problems. And I know I'm probably reaching, and there's many problems we need to fix up before. As much as I like Tomiyasu, man, he can improve a bit offensively. He's never going to turn into a Japanese Dani Alves. He's a bit stiff going forward still. Pause. He's a bit basic going forward. He's played a couple of wavy passes for Martinelli. He can contribute. I'm not dissing him, but sometimes I just feel, and he obviously doubles back because he gives us a lot defensively, especially when he wins all the aerial duels and that. I just think he could be a bit basic there. I think the way Melo moves, he can bring the ball from the back really well and has the Santi movement, bar two-footed. I see the angle, but yeah, man. Big up, DG. Been listening to your content for some time now. Very logical and great analysis. I appreciate that, man. Thank you very much. Fabian Ruiz is much better than Telemans. He probably is, man. I would love him. Coming on the next man's stream to insult him is the weirdest flex. Elite virgin energy. Bro, shout out to them. Nothing wrong with being a virgin. Nothing wrong with it. But he's clearly not one by choice. That man there probably cut holes in their mattresses and get a wig and that, a couple, bro. It's crazy. But let's not give him any more clout, man. I mean, obviously, Tomiyasu, he's a professional footballer. You're going to have a little skillers in the tank here and there. But still, man. Not sure Melo is an upgrade on the first team, but we'll add depth to the squad. I hear that. That's a legitimate concern. DG is the president of the Left Back Association, Fullback Union. If we sign Melo, it's peak Juventus throwaway. I'd take him over nothing, but we have much better options. I mean, we have to assume Fabian Ruiz wants to sign for us. I don't know if he was linked with going back to Spain. Doesn't seem like Barca are spinning the block or Juventus are going for him or in Italy, obviously, or Madrid. There's, if he becomes available, I think he'd be a lit signing for Chelsea or City. I think he'd give even Liverpool something, really. I think we need Fabian Ruiz, but his contract's running down. I'm sure Napoli want to get rid. Does he want to run down his contract? Does he only want to play for Premier League clubs? You have to assume Milinkovic, Savic, Fabian Ruiz, all these guys want to sign for our club because of where we're at this moment in time. Morning, DG. Some players are just dead in some leagues. Melo could come and boss it. We just have to see what happens. We fans need to stop talking down players before they even come. I'm taking him, but boy. Zenolio clearly going to end up going Juventus, bro. Yeah, he's not going to be a Japanese Dani Alves. He's not going to be a Japanese Dani Alves flying down the right-hand side. You want to see a bit more from Tomiyasu in an attacking sense. But at some moments, you just have to judge certain players for what they are. He's on, steady Eddie in a nice way. Steady Eddie, defensive thing. A bit like Sagna, just do their job. And I love that. Just does his job. Cool guy. In a nice way, we don't focus or talk on Tomiyasu unless he's not there because he's a professional player and a human being. He's going to have the occasional bad game. But 9 times out of 10, you can say he's going to be no less than a 6 or 7 minimum on a worst day by him out of 10 games. And I think you need players like that. Tomiyasu is calm. But if we're talking upgraded, you would like a bit more of a devilish fullback. Really. Tierney seems like the nicest guy off the pitch. Seen a lot of videos of him spending time with fans and signing gear for disabled fans. I mean, costs nothing to be a decent human being, man. And Tierney does come across as a working class hero. So I share where you're coming from with that. 321 likes, people. Thank you very much for that. Let's begin the assault to 400. If you've hit the like button, appreciative to go with your opinions and everything else, man. You lot are in top form as you normally are. Hopefully we get Zinchenko over the line, though. But I can't say I think it's something happening. Is Tomiyasu still injured? I don't know, but it doesn't seem like he's ready to play. And I can't lie, I've kind of not been panicking privately. We're getting kind of close to the start of the season. Tomiyasu, Tierney, Smith Rowe, Ben White. What's happening there, fellas? You look good? What's going on? You look ready? I don't know. No more injuries, mate. Let me circle for any more transfer rumours. Doesn't seem like there's anything. Bayern Munich have reached a verbal agreement over De Ligt. Broja's going close to West Ham. Dybala's undergone a Roma medical. Lewandowski's gone Barca, but nothing in relation to Arsenal, really. Three at the back versus the top two clubs. Arsenal must squeeze some points out of Liverpool and City matches to make a serious move forward. We can no longer go 0 for 12 points against them. Trust that we got the worst record out of all the top six. Yes, we beat Chelsea, Spurs, and United last season. But, you know, there are anomalies, more time, crazy sort of games or crazy contexts is going to games. And let's be honest, going into top six, even if you want to puff out your chest as Arsenal fans, we probably have the least confidence because we've taken the least points, you know. You need to be able to improve away from home. You need to be able to walk away with 3 points when you've taken the lead, like Everton, like Crystal Palace at home, like Manchester United at Old Trafford. You need to be able to go to certain grounds and get points. Anytime it's a difficult atmosphere or there's adversity, we struggle. We need to stop gassing up playing well for 20 minutes, 45 minutes and things like that and walk away. You know, Spurs actually beat City. We didn't. The language between Arsenal fans and City fans, we in that game, you would have thought we won. But that was another game. Yes, it was amazing from us. And you know, we did have 10 men, but we failed to take 3 points from a winning position, and we let ourselves down at the end, holding and Ben White up against, I believe, Laporte and Rodri in the last moment. We need to start winning games like this. And to be honest, I'm not even watching Liverpool and City, and I know what you're saying. But as I said, it's you go to Old Trafford, you go to Goodison Park, you go to White Hart Lane, you go to Tyneside, St. James's Park, where Newcastle's concerned, Selhurst Park. These are grounds you need to be able to go to if you're not going to slap up your rivals and get things away from them. If you don't do that, it's a myth, really and truly. So you need to be able to do that. But you're 100% right. And it comes down to reacting to setbacks. You've seen it sometimes. Sometimes we look much better when we've conceded first. Sometimes we drop our heads when we've conceded. Sometimes we're not on it from the start. And it's football. People are human beings. Villa, Wolves, they've given, off the top of my head, obviously I think they lost, but they've given City and Liverpool tough games. Last game of the season. Look how City had to come from behind. And there's more games next season. So the energy levels and these things are going to play a factor for all teams. These your outfield players that we've signed can play in multiple positions. Do you feel this is done for injury concerns and lack of depth? Lack of depth, injury concerns, flexibility tactically, all of them things there. But as I always say, you need to be wavy at one thing first and then able to do all of that. That's the only reason it matters at City. When you've got Bernardo, Gundogan, Kevin, Grealish, Foden, Sterling, you know what, Zinchenko to a slight degree, you know what these guys are by trade. And then they do their false nine on the wings and things like that. I feel too many guys in football. You look at Martial and Rashford, you know. Martial, 8 years, is he a winger striker at United or something like that? Rashford, still don't know. And it's not just him. There's many other examples at our club and elsewhere. You need to be able to do one thing first. You know, by all means, Smith Rowe, Odegaard, Fabio Vieira, Martinelli, to a slight degree, Gabriel Jesus, because he's going to get an opportunity. Lock down one thing and by all means be flexible. But yeah, it does help me, man. Southampton away from home. All the bogey teams. We knew what. Remember these periods in the season. We knew what time it was. Guys, look at what our rivals have done and see where we can match or surpass this thing. It's thing with me is some part about me doesn't trust Arteta. I hear that. Think Tommy ain't good enough because of injuries, but can be top quality. That's harsh. I don't know what's going on with Tommy actually, but I think if he's fit, he is. Tried to rush him to get an autograph. Man gave me that crystal gaze in front of his missus. As much as I loved Thierry Henry's uncle, probably been a prick his whole thing. Lingard? No. I mean, and if you don't get Pagueta, you need someone else that's going to dance around in that. So maybe get him. I'm sure when it comes to us going to the lesser fortunate and going to see the Make-A-Wish Foundation and all them things, bro, Lingard will be a joy for the youth then. But in terms of playing football at 29 years of age, come on now. I'll be way more upset than when we signed Welbeck. And to be fair, Welbeck turned out to be a better signing than I initially gave him credit for. But I remember visibly being upset with them links. It sounds so bad, man. But I remember praying that... It sounds so bad, but I remember praying that the medical failed for whatever reason. Like, better player than I thought. To be fair, Welbeck off the left or the right in terms of the pressing and intensity in the squad wouldn't be the worst of options at this moment in time, if I'm completely honest with you guys, man. It ain't easy. Tomiyasu is world class. Whoa. He's a good player. Very good player, but whoa. world class. I do, we've been here before. I think that one is thrown around way too often. World class. Oh, whoa. Definitely not off one injury hit season as amazing as I think he is. I think that's a serious shout. It's all brazy, man. So yeah, man, it is what it is. Is there any other transfer news that we can be lied to about? Just everything with Arsenal is centered around Zinchenko, people. It's all centered around Zinchenko. You're not going to see anything there. Speaking of Henry and Sergio Aguero paid a visit to Barcelona. Heritage. Apparently, AirPod Albert's on crutches. I don't know who clamped him. Apparently, people saying on Twitter, Partey clamped him. I don't know what's going on there. You think Amari will get a look in at Chelsea? I can't see it, but I hope so. I can't see it, though. Not in the immediate future. But I hope so, man. You always hope so. Tomiyasu is really good on the ball. Maybe not a fast-paced right back, but definitely confident in his good passing range and technique. He's calm. Literally calm. My issue is our style of play depends almost identically on Partey. My issue is if Partey's not there, Tierney and Tomiyasu are not there, they all contribute to the build-up play. Other than that, it's just kicking the balls into the flanks for Saka and things like that. So, yeah, man. So when they're not there for a variety of reasons, just on top of them being a great players for us, it's an issue. It's all mad, man. It's all mad. So, yeah, man, hopefully we do things, man. Henry and Aguero, probably we'd money as well. Probably. What other questions have we got? In your heart, wouldn't you be more excited if we got Chukwuemeka over Telemans? Not necessarily, because I think Chucks has big potential, but not in the immediate future. I don't think he's going to make us keen to get number 8 and that. I wouldn't, actually. And for the youngster thing, yeah, but yeah, man. I see someone talking stuff about Martinelli. Like Tierney, we don't advocate Martinelli slander on my platform. It has to turn into a dictatorship then. It's all mad. Arsenal need players for now. Why do man want to buy more future prospects? I do want future prospects. I want both. You have to find balance. Balance is key. It just feels we're always on a project with this. So we'll have to see how things are going. Once again, Valencia are interested in signing Lucas Torreira, like Darmashef has said of Sky Sports. But again, front up the bread and do what you're doing, innit? And then keep it moving. But yeah, latest on Telemans. Went over it, my guy. But in terms of that, I'll give you a timestamp to rewind this video and that. Martinelli is the real future 9 by God's grace, man. By God's grace. Pardon me, what's the time? I think it's time to get a cheeky little gym session in, people. So I'm going to end this live stream on that. We've ended with 346 likes, first and foremost on YouTube. Thank you very much for that. Keep hitting the like button. Let's try to get that to 400 sooner rather than later. Second of all, thank you for everyone giving me your time. You lot make this platform on Twitch and YouTube day in, day out. Watch-alongs, transfer stuff, all the stuff we do in it, people. 4:30 on Twitch or Playing FM. Make sure you're following on that. Hope you lot have had a good start to the week. Hope you lot are fit and healthy and your loved ones. Hope you lot conquer whatever you have to conquer, people. Stay fit, stay hydrated and them things. I will be cutting up clips of this live stream, and I cut up my clips from the last live stream yesterday. One of the videos, 2 of them I've uploaded. One of them was taking long. I actually had to. It said 98%. I had to cancel it to start this. So I will be cutting up and re-uploading. So make sure you're checking and browsing. There'll be content for you lot, as there always is. Appreciative to you lot, because without you lot, there is no platform in it. And it's mainly your talking points. It's genuinely a pleasure and an honor to talk football with you lot, wherever you lot are placed in this world. So yeah, you lot stay blessed, stay safe. I'll see you lot in a minute, man. Well, I say a minute. I'll catch you lot later. Peace.
Because you always use that active red light defending. I think it's like